Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We're playing Green Cities and we are building or laying out at least the King Wells um, oil industrial area. Then we will also kind of lay out this area, and I'm kind of thinking maybe we should give them a few names. So let me grab this so that we quickly put the area in place here. So I want this area to all be known as some kind of residential. Oops, that's not what I'm after. Holly Park. Well, Holly Park isn't too bad. Okay, so we've got the almost Holly Park area. This area is the stadium precinct, Spring Hills. But actually, this section alongside here is not the forest district, but it'll be something commercial at least to be able to give us a bit of a buffer. So I'll need to give them some proper names. Well, not proper names, but just a little bit more interesting names than what we have going at the moment. Okay, does the stadium have a name? Camp Nou. Don't like it. Okay, anyway, I think that's our districts for now. We need to do some more road layouts over here, but what I'm keen on getting is let's run some power and some water up there. So let's start with the water. We will run the water straight up here, and then what we'll start doing is we'll start running back and forth on these things. Okay, and so all the way out there. What? That's a little bit funny. Looks a bit funny over there. Anyway, we will tie these as much as we can. There's a bit of a line that needs to run through here. That's not the tidiest of lines, but at least that gives us a fair bit of water in this area. Including over there. The next thing we need to run is some power lines. And I'm wondering about these guys. We probably need to run these guys. They are... Where will we lock this power in? So if I run the big 400 kV, they can actually go over the top here. And then into that spot right there. Nice. It actually looks kind of decent. I like it. The 400 kV. Nice. It looks kind of cool. Okay, so now what I'm gonna make us do is I'm gonna start putting in the industrial area right over here, and what we'll do is we'll actually lay these out in a fashion that allows us to manage it a little bit, and we'll try and keep the intersections clear a little bit. Okay, so I'm hoping what that does is, and what we'll do is we'll grab some kind of a plaza arrangement. We could do parking, to be honest. There's this cool parking mod that I've now got installed that we could do. But what I want to do is I want to do a bit of a plaza type arrangement. Not a dog park. No one's going to come and walk a dog over here. I want a bit of a that's almost what I'm keen on having, is a little something like this, though it doesn't quite line up too well. But yeah, if we do something like that, okay, we can fill in the gaps a little bit and so on. That kind of just makes this area a little bit more interesting. And actually does give us a little bit of a jump on the power, which is one of the predominant reasons for doing it. Gives us a bit of a power jump to get that up and running. Okay, so that's in place. So King Wells is underway. The power is there. I'm gonna definitely leave this area open a little bit. So what I'll do, I had a comment on one of the other series a long time ago about a good way to potentially leave the area available. So what I'll do is I'll do something like that. So yeah, we tie in. Yeah, a bit more like that, and we'll tie it up together over here. So it's about a bit of a walkway. It doesn't actually do much in terms of walkway. We'll keep that open, and we'll just do the same thing on this side. Give it a bit of a gap like that, and there we go. So that area is what we're leaving open for potentially a pretty big intersection upgrade at some point, a big roundabout or something to that effect. This could become a big roundabout. To be very honest with you, that might work quite well as a roundabout, and even have these kind of flyovers over the top of it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That is probably a good idea. So we'll reserve the area for now. So just make sure we're not going to build anything in that specific area. Okay, the wells is coming up. So we will start seeing some oil movement over here. Some things that we need to make sure of is getting our required services in here. So I'll add a clinic. And what I just want to make sure is that the clinic is, maybe we should go a little bit bigger than a clinic. A city hospital. Wow, that's too big. I think that's too big too. I just want university hospital. Wow, that's huge. A funeral home. Well, university hospital over the top of a road. Man, that's cool. I like it, but this is not the spot for it. I didn't even see that one. So what is this? This is just a doctor's office. What we'll do is we'll place one of them kind of there. Okay, and what we'll also do is I'll place one of them over there. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Okay, so we've got the two doctor's offices in there. What I'm definitely keen on is doing some big fire stations, and a slot right over here is a decent spot for a fire station. And then we also want to do a bit of a police station. We may do a big one too. A nice big police station on the opposite side of it. Yeah. Okay, is that jumping the power? It is indeed jumping the power over there. What we could do is actually do a bit of a bus station in the middle over here. Now that might be a very good idea. Let's go for the buses. What kind of bus stations do we have? We still just have the same old bus stations, and then obviously the big one. Whoa, that's pretty sizable. That's too big in my opinion. Don't need this a bus station of that size. I'd rather just do... Why is this a bus station and then the non-stop bus terminal? Something like that. Good stuff. So we've got a bit of a bus terminal over there. So this is kind of all of our civics a little bit in the center over here to deal with most of the stuff as we keep building out the industrial stuff in this area. Let's add a few more. Lines of industrial. I'm not going to fill that one. That's going to be some kind of other amenity right there. Okay. We could indeed fill this one a little bit. Okay, but what we do need to do now, and that actually won't be a not a very good oil industry. This one was without power for now. We still need to fill that in a little. Okay, so now we need to look into our... And I'm kind of wondering, what is this? This is just a standard road. So I'm looking for something that's a little bigger. We could actually tie in here. But nothing too huge though. I'm almost thinking one of these is a good one, so we can start it off straight there, and then I'm almost tempted to actually maybe that's not the right tool. I'm almost tempted to give it a bit of a hang on, do we need that to turn the way it is turning? Maybe just straight a little bit more. And now what we'll do is I will turn it like this. And up a little bit like that. And then what we'll do is we'll turn it in like that, and we'll tie it in there. Yeah. Now that's a little bit of a bigger road without being a huge road to cover the back, and now we can fill in this area. But what I want to make sure we do is now tie in this asymmetrical over here. So what is that road? 64 meter wide. That is crazy. Bike lanes, bus lanes. Is there anything with like tram tracks? Wow, look at that. I want to see how this looks. That is huge. That is massive. That is a massive, massive road. Thompson Boulevard. That looks pretty damn cool, to be honest. But it's major. It's much bigger than these. And I'm almost wondering whether I don't redo this one like that up to here at least. I'm very much tempted to do so. Very tempted to do that. Very tempted. It'll be a lot of capacity. A lot. Okay, but we will come back to that. Give me my asymmetrical over here. Wow, that's a massive, massive. That's really massive. Okay, get the asymmetrical over here, and what we'll do is we will do it like that and tie it in like so. Yes, on that same one, what I just want to do is just want to make this one be the big one. That's not really required. Yeah, that's fine. The way that's done is fine with the one-ways. Good stuff. We've already got the trucks doing their runs through here. We're waiting for a lot of people to come and start moving in. So now what I'm kind of thinking we need to do is I'm almost tempted to do these, what is this? Oh, it's a little bit more cobblestone. Cobblestone? Wow, what is this? 2-lane neighborhood streets. I like that. 2-lane suburban streets. We might use some of these to be 2-lane one-way neighborhood streets. I like all of these little streets. I really like it. Now that people can start making some proper streets, I do like it. I'm cobblestone straight alternate. Cobblestone small straight. I'm almost thinking, I'm kind of tempted to run the cobblestone roads. Wow, that looks pretty cool. To run the cobblestone roads out here a little bit. Yeah, something like that. I don't mind it having a kink in it because it's a nice little almost it's a clinical environment next to the edge of the stadium over here, and so we're gonna do some proper and that's fine. It's a little bit of a cul-de-sac area. I almost like the way it's been set up over here. So here we're gonna go with some proper high density. The kink, I think the kink adds a little bit of value right there, and so I will do that and do that. Shall we actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 little neighborhood stores in here. I'm going to keep that open and maybe put some park or something in there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll hang on, just to clear that out a little, we'll put clear that one out. We'll put that in there. So there's a bit of a commercial section right here. I'm gonna do the same thing right over there. And now what I'm gonna grab is I'm gonna grab one of these walkways. Do we have? I don't think we have cobblestone here, do we? Wow, look at all of this stuff. So much stuff. Forget about all of that. I don't have cobblestone. I'm not going to worry about cobblestone too much. If we tie that in there, there's a tie-in point right there. If we tie that in there, there's a tie-in point right over there. Actually, that should probably be gravel. Maybe not gravel, because there's going to be some buildings up alongside it here. Is there water here? So let's make sure we run some water through there. So these guys have water. I think the parking lot should be jumping power over. Yeah, that is what's happening. So we'll start seeing some stuff happening over there. So there's a little bit of a cluster right next to it. In terms of this commercial zone that I want to run next to this boulevard, and almost from this district run the commercial straight from there onto here, I'm kind of wondering how I do I set it back with a bit of a service road. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a service road, a small service road alongside this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one of these with parking. That's pretty cool. And I'm going to find, yeah, that's decent. I'm going to find the appropriate distances that I'm needing. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and now I'm going to tie that in there, and I'm going to tie that back that way. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to run exactly the same thing in the opposite direction. I'm going to tie that in there, and we're going to tie that in there. Okay. But the thing we are going to bear in mind here is that we're going to use this and we're going to ban all of these turns. And maybe before we do that, let's quickly do our upgrades of the asymmetrical over here. That's not that one, it is this one. So let's quickly actually, and in between here we don't have to run the asymmetrical. Aha! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up in between there. In between there I am going to run this one. Are there different varieties? No, yeah, I'm going to run in between. Yeah, it's the right thing. I'm going to run that one. Okay, so with that running there, it looks pretty good. That one is going to go in there, that one's going to go in there. Right, and we're not going to allow these turns, and we're not going to have signals and the likes over here. It's just going to be a section of service road so that we don't have all the action on the main road. Okay, so now let me grab this and say, well, what you're doing is you're going in there. You are continuing straight, and you are continuing straight. You are going through. You are going through or right into the service road, and that's all movements there. At the same time, what I'm doing is I am switching off the signals, and actually, to be honest, because there is no conflict here, we don't even need to slow these guys down. We will switch off the signals over here, and we're going to do a similar arrangement right here. So you go over there, you go over there, you go over there, straight through there, and you can also turn in there. There we go. I don't mind the pedestrian crossings over here. And to be honest, right in the middle, actually, right in the middle I'm going to put another pedestrian crossing. Let's gauge the middle roughly. Right there, signalized pedestrian crossing, and let's see, can we... Anyway, these aren't actually showing, so it's fine. It's just so that we can have these guys to tie together. What I'll just switch off the snapping over here, so that we can just kind of... Actually, we should probably do something like that. And something like that. So that these guys can get across the street. I'll have to run some trees in here to make it look a little bit decent, but that is exactly what we're kind of on about in this area. And then from here, what I'll do is I'm gonna run the small road practically without parking. Okay, let's actually give me some of these neighborhood streets somewhere. What is this one? 2-lane suburban street alternative. Let's grab that one, switch our snapping back on. And what I'm keen on doing is running it up here a little bit. So how does that look? Wow, it's kind of plain and empty. So what is this? Small avenue with parking. How does that look? That is cool. I like that. I like that. So what we'll do, I want to run a small avenue with parking straight up the middle somewhere over here. Actually, so we don't need that. But what we'll do is we'll run that one in this direction. I'm not liking this. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Let's get rid of this thing. And all we need to do is tie that back in there. Good. That looks pretty decent. I like that. I really like that. So actually, maybe what we need to do is put some more, anyway, paths in there. Anyway, that's a pretty decent looking thing. At some point we may bridge across here if there's a lot of traffic using that. Okay, that's good. So let me... I'm gonna run that straight in there. Is that causing funny stuff? No, not really. That's just a one lane. I like the boulevard thing through here. And I'm gonna run it straight through on this side too. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, at the same time what we need to do is, I like all of these roads. I probably say that way too much, but I do really like it. So what I'm thinking is we need to do something like this where you can actually go into the area. Okay, now let's go back to those roads that we were talking about. It's another little classic boulevard thing that we're looking at over here. This is some bus lanes and so on. Not this, that's not what I'm after. I am after some of these, the suburban ones. Okay, so let's run that a little bit and let's see so where is our first one? So if we do that, okay, that kind of gives us a bit of a thing. This could actually be a little roundabout, a little one. Actually no, maybe somewhere in the middle here. So right there, let's do a bit of a roundabout over here. So what I'm keen on doing is taking the one ways, and probably have it look a little bit nicer. So something like that. Okay. So give me this. I know I'm being a little bit pedantic about these things now. So let's do that and that. And is Anarchy not on? Okay. So there and there. Why is this? Ah, Anarchy is not properly working. There and there. And there and there. There and there. No, I don't want that. That's crazy. Let's try that one more time. Maybe now it'll work. Okay, let's just make sure to force it down. There we go. A bit of a roundabout in the center over there, just to make it look a little bit funkier. That's a little bit bigger than I would have thought would be necessary over here, but it's okay. At the same time, you know what I'm thinking of doing is we'll grab... what did we use here? We just grabbed the standard one. So let's do that. Let's at least do that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie it in from that side. So let's do that and say that, and then what we'll do is we will tie it in like so. Nice. This one over here could actually tie in here, but this area is a little bit tricky. It's going to be a bit tricky. So let's go back to these neighborhood roads, and I'm kind of thinking what we do is we just tie them in a few spots. That kind of arrangement. Okay, over there, something like that will actually cause it to look a little bit nicer. I like this. This is starting to shape up quite nicely. We probably need to run a similar one up here. We can do a little bit like that, because these they look a little funny. I might replace the roads a little bit at some point. So if we do that, something like so and something like so. Yeah, how does that look? That's pretty decent. That is a pretty decent start of this. Okay, so now this area here, let's have a very quick look. Oh, and I need to put a cut in this episode. So this area here is going to be commercial, high density commercial. Right, up to there and up to there. And similarly on this one, it's going to be commercial like so, and commercial up to there. So there you have the commercial strip. I'm also tempted to put commercial to the back of it, and the question is, do we do that? The question is, do we do that? I'm tempted to do commercial on the back of this as well, and then have a little bit of high density in this area. So a little bit, how shall we do this? I think this is definitely a good little piece. No, this should probably be more of the commercial, right? And if that's the case, I'll probably run a bit of commercial in here also. To be honest, I think this entire stretch here is probably a good commercial strip. And then we'll do this entire section here as, and that's crazy. I want to rezone these roads. These roads that I'm using here doesn't seem to be the nicest roads. So what we'll do is, I'm just going to grab these ones. Why is that doing that? Can I, if I do zoning, can we just switch this thing? Let's do no collision, just no zoning. Okay. Okay, now let's do force zoning. So let's, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off zoning on this one again to get better zoning on that. That looks much better, but I'm a little intrigued by what I'm seeing over here. Anyway, that's okay. This spot, let's do that. Let's get a little bit of zoning on there. Okay, fine. Let's forget about it. I'm kind of wondering. I'm messing around with this. I wanted to switch off zoning on this thing. Why is there zoning on it? Let's just go back and say no zoning. Here, please. There we go. So let's leave it be. And now let's run these guys through here. There's a little bit of gap there, and what we'll do is we'll run that, and we'll do a similar exercise right over here. Perfect. So we've got some zoning in there do we have the one thing that I do want to have a look at is just quickly is in terms of commercial specialization, we have organic, leisure, and tourism. None of those, I think, is what I'm after. No residential, self-sufficient, no. And then office and an IT cluster. Do we do an well, we don't have any offices in here. We might do an IT cluster in here somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, we could do it as an IT cluster, but do we have a commercial specialization? I don't think so. I don't think so. None of these is what I'm kind of keen on in terms of commercial specialization. So let's leave it be. And guys, I've had it for this episode. It's spent all the time. What we'll need to do is finish off what we do with this area in the next episode, and we'll start filling in the development right over here. So thank you so much for watching, and if you've liked it, hit that button, and I will see you next time. Do you like my little service road setup over here? Please let me know what you think of it. And yes, I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.